everyone, this is Uclapack here. Reason why I'm making this video is I get a lot of requests to show off my roster. Gosh, I've been playing for, it's almost 3 years now, so, yeah, I've accumulated a lot for the time that I've played this game. Currently I have 78 maxed 5 stars and 41 max 4 stars. 26 max 3 stars, so not too many of those, but I use those mainly just for the tournaments, and actually event now, since the loots, the rewards are pretty good. So, yeah, starting off, I've got 2 Talarias, which, yeah, definitely an awesome hero to have, both on offense and defense. I have 3 Gravemakers. Yeah, definitely the same. Two of my best heroes. Right there, I double up on or triple up on the ones that I really like. I have 1 Max Vela, and that's mainly just for defense. I don't really use her for offense, but she's not that bad actually on offense. I have 3 Max Mitsukus. Very good against the double blues, as long as I get the red tile. So I also have put emblems on all 3 of them, just because I really like this talent, the sorcerer talent. I can, especially against Talaria, you can definitely see that taking it to effect more often than not. So, and any extra time helps. So, Lady Locke, I only have 1 of her. I got her, actually it was the first temple that I've ever done for the pirates, so it was a long time ago. I got her, and I got Kestrel, which is, I was like, 2 event heroes are easy to get. No, they are not. The only time I really went crazy, and I hate myself for doing it, was when I went to try to pull Gwen, and I never did pull her. Actually, Dator pulled her later, so, because I was about ready to quit. I was like, this is so stupid. And then now I don't even use her. I even stripped her of her emblems. It's sad, really. But yeah, event heroes are by far the hardest to get, and it's funny that I got both of them in a temple. Actually, Pirates has always been really good for me, because I also got not Kestrel, I did in that one, but I also got Finley in a 10 pull, when he first debuted. So crazy. Those are probably my luckiest pulls that I've ever seen in this game, have been pirate pulls. But hero of the months I've usually gotten pretty easily. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Atlantis heroes and the event heroes. Those are the ones that were in season 3. Also, those are ones that don't really come to me as often, and I don't really go crazy for heroes. I don't want to chase after any after the Gwen incident. I have stopped chasing anybody, just because, yeah, it's just not it's just not worth it. There's no one hero besides probably Talaria that is a must-have at this point, right now. Gravemaker is really good, but I don't think he's a must-have hero. Like, any very fast hero is gonna be really good, though. Besides Margaret, as it was pointed out to me in our Dator Luck chat. Let's see. I've got 2 Zeleens. When we did Gwen tanks, I never used my Zeleens, and I hated myself for ascending a second one, because I was like, I don't even use the first one. Why'd I do that? Well, I actually use them both now against Talaria. She's really good. and they changed her picture and made her more decent. Let's see. C-Shat, or in Dator's language, this is Asshat. I have 2 of her. Clarissa, I just have the one right now, but because she just came out, but very good hero. I really like her. Let's see, Costume Rigard. I have 4 of those, and I use all 4 of them. Very good hero to have. Actually, I have 78 5 stars, and I use 4 Rigards and more, so that says something about the hero, that he's better than most 5 stars. Actually, one of the best healers in the game. So, very good hero. Kingston, I have 2 of him. I maxed two Kingstons with to go with my 2 Evelyns. Just a really good combination of those 2 together. Helps out in offense. Freya is actually I have 2 season 3 heroes now. She's my only one that's maxed. I actually wanted her, and it's funny because right now none of the season 3 heroes to me strike me as must-haves, or outstanding heroes. I haven't really tried to pull for any of them. I think I did, it might have been 30 for her, and she came up in that pull, and I was so excited. So, yeah, and I maxed her. She's just so tanky. With her plus defense and minions. Her special doesn't look extravagant, but she really has helped me out a lot, and I do like using her. And I think she's worth the mats. There's my second C-Shat. My one and only Panther. Panther, I was struggling hardcore against Gwyn's back in the day, and once I got Panther, it was like no more. I remember just going to town on raids and killing. This is back when Gwyn's holy defense was ridiculously high too. So, yeah, Panther was awesome. I had the mats ready and power leveled her once I got her. I have 2 cages, or cage burritos in Dator's words. Yeah, I really like him. Very fast hero. Use both of them. I have Costume Viv and regular Viv. I have actually 2. I just have one of. I have them, both of their costumes maxed, but I use just depends on the team which one I want to use. I wish the costume one would cleanse, because cleansing is a much bigger deal to me than dispelling, it seems like these days. So I prefer this one, but yeah, they're both decent healers. I wish she was a little faster, but yeah, she's good. I have 1 Melosi maxed. I'm still working on the timing with him with Teleria. He can be really good. Actually, I really like using him against Black Knight and John Francois. He's just, yeah, he stops their whole special from happening, and they pretty much do nothing. So, against certain heroes, he's really good. He's also good against Ursina, because Ursina can't turn the yellows against you if they double up on purples. I would just take a Melosi. If you get 6 tiles, you do really great. I have 3 Sartanas. She was one of the first heroes that I maxed, actually. Yeah, 3. It was actually when I first joined Crystal Palace. I think I only had 2 at that time, and and they were I would just beat the yellow Titans to death, and they're like, "Why the heck are you scoring so well?" That was back in the day. I would beat them like 50k or something like that. It was not that much, and oh, it's because she has two Sartanas. Keep in mind that was like 3 years ago, so maybe 2.5. And then I had a lack of, there was a point where I had a lack of purples, and I was trying for another panther, I think. Actually, it was an event. I was trying to get first in epic, which is not easy, to win another panther, and didn't happen. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do third Sartana then. And I've actually used all three of them constantly until the tank's colors changed just recently. Tarlik, he didn't join my roster until later. That was after the Gwyn fiasco, and then Atlantis comes up with Tarlik and Hell, and I was like, I'm not spending any more money on this. I've already dropped way too much trying to get one hero, and then they come out with these guys, so didn't really try for him. Dator always bragged that was the one hero that he had that I didn't, and then he was featured with Mitsuku. I don't know, maybe not too terribly long ago, and I actually got them both in a 30 pull, so maxed him right away. He's killer on Titans. My other's Lean. I have one Grazul. She's another one where the timing, like Melosi, is never really been on my side. She's a really good hero. I like her special, and she's definitely unique. I know a lot of people use her against Teleria. I found that she works really well paired with Zimkeitha because my timing's always off. If I get her going, then it gives me enough time to get Zimkeitha going for another heal. And Zimkeitha is my only one there as well. Margiana, I only have one of her. She's the staple sniper for red, it seems like, because they don't have very many red snipers. She's really good. I like her class. She's a rogue, so no regrets so far. White Rabbit, I won this one. I saw that there was a shield down for a defense down for yellow, and I was like, I gotta win that rabbit, because I figured, heck, I'm not gonna pull him. So was lucky enough to win in that event challenge. Let's see, I've got one Ursina. I was in Batman when I was pulling for her. I made a bet with one of my, because I wasn't pulling then, because I wanted to take a step back and just kind of do my own thing. And it was Malevolent Monk. I said he was giving everybody luck, and I said, all right, if you give me luck, I will let you be leader of Batman, and if I get something good in a 10 pull. So I did my 10 pull, got Ursina, made him leader, but then he gave it back to me because he's a nice guy. Let's see, Finley, I got him with the 10 pull, super lucky. One of the best heroes in the game, in my opinion. Very hard to get. Musashi, I have one of him. I gave him emblems because look at that attack stat. He's a beast, and he hits 3. So, I like him better than June on the wing, just because he hits 3. I'm not a huge fan of snipers on the wings for defense, just because I want that wing to clear everybody out. So, especially in war, if you have attackers that hit multiples, it's always better on defense, in my opinion. So higher the attack, the better as well. I got Costume Richard. This is back in the Gwyn days. I have Frida Lepus combo, which is amazing. It will pretty much wipe out a whole side on defense. So I was like, I wonder if Richard will do that as well. Well, he didn't pair as well with Frida, but Costume Richard with Emblems did, but then he's Paladin, so I had to strip him and now I don't use him anymore, but he's not bad. He's better with Costume because of the higher mana, but yeah, not a bad hero. Kestrel, I like his class. He's a rogue. I don't use him too much. I did have him on defense for a little while when I had emblems on him, but he's inferior to Gravemaker in my opinion, but still a decent red to have. I have 2 Poseidons. I can't get the yellow tiles to get him to. I know he's fast, but I just doesn't seem like I get the tiles to stop the mana. Very good against Hell though. I usually don't use him too often, but yeah, I guess going yellows against Gwen was never something that I really wanted to do, even with Poseidon, just because the tile damage isn't there. So I didn't use him too much. With Teleria, I might use him a little bit more. It just depends. My yellows aren't really super strong though. Sandra, I got her pretty recently. She was a 10 pull as well. She wasn't even a featured hero in Atlantis, and I got her and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like her. I think that she's always been kind of interesting. I don't use too many blues now since we see so many Teleria tanks. If I had Ariel, I might actually use her a little bit more, but Ariel's one that I have never gotten. And I say I get these in 10 pulls. This is like every time that it comes out, I'll do like 1 10 pull. If I don't get anything, I don't get anything. If I continue to pull, it just seems like I'm not going to get anything and I'm going to hate the game even more. So to keep me happy, yeah, I'll spend, but I spend when it comes out. Like once I don't chase heroes anymore after the Gwen incident. It just was not fun for me. So, and it seems like my luck is better when I don't pull just a ton. So, if something comes out, yeah, I will go for it, but I don't go crazy for anything anymore. Let's see, Kunchin, that's the only one of him that I have. He was really good against Gwen tanks, but he's a little slow now, so he's been benched, and I stripped him of his emblems for regards because I just think the regards are better because they're so much faster. Anatel, I like Anatel. I think she's really good, and I love the mana control. I wish I had Hell, but yeah, my yellows just aren't strong enough, and when I do use her, she does well. I just don't have a spot for her currently, but I may consider putting emblems on her. I'm not sure. Let's see, Ranveer. I just did not like this guy. I used him what happened was I wanted Tarlik and I didn't have Tarlik, so they came out with Ranveer, and I was like, okay, well, this is a 5-star woo, so let's go for Ranveer. Of course, I got Ranveer, and I maxed him, and he misses so much more than Woo, it seems like, and Woo used to miss an awful lot. And I wanted him for Titans and events, and he's just been riding the bench ever since I maxed him. I actually tried Tarlik in the event with, I think it was a yellow team actually, and I tried Ranveer, and my score was actually better with Tarlik than with Ranveer. So he's just too hit and miss, and you can use all your items really quickly with him, and if he misses, your perfect run is just done. So I don't like that. I don't like the riskiness of it. It's really, and it seems like when I use Woo, I had better luck. So just not a huge fan of Ranveer. Frida, I leveled 2 of her. Frida's really good. She's like a Blue Panther, but average, but I got my mana troops up to make her fire quicker in 9 tiles, so I don't use her too often anymore just because of the new tanks. But she was definitely one that was on each team, paired with Lepus. My other Kingston, Yunin, he's been a buddy of mine for a long time. I actually wanted to feed him back in the day, and because I was like, I don't want Yunin, I want Reyna. Dator got Reyna, and then I got Yunin. And he was like, no, that's a special hero, you need to keep him. I have very bad feeding habits, by the way. So I kept Yunin, and then I saw how Yunin was doing in raids as a tank, and this was before Zimkeitha and everything, and I thought, I'm gonna do Yunin as a tank. So I maxed Yunin, and the cups that he performed just as good as Teleria does right now. Kept me pretty high, like I could be logged off and still be in the top 100. It was pretty crazy. And then they came out with better reds, and then Yunin kind of suffered, and I had to take his fighter away for Kingston. But yeah, I've always liked Yunin. I always thought he was a really decent hero, very good tank, and if he goes off, it's pretty devastating. So I don't use him too much anymore, but he's fun to use. Aaron, I actually just stripped him of his emblems just because costume regard is so much better. I just have not really been. He used to be really good against Gwen, but I haven't really been impressed with him against Teleria. He just dies, and then his heal's not that great, and he only cleanses the 2 that are next to him, whereas Rigard cleanses everybody. Yeah, he's not one of my favorites anymore. He used to be really good for me, but not anymore. Kiona's kind of the same way. I have one of her. She's been average for me. She's better with emblems because she hits harder, but she doesn't really hit hard, and she's average mana speed, so not I'm glad that I have her. She's good on Titans and events, but not one that I'm ecstatic about. Not one of my favorites. Delilah, I have 2 of her. She's really good. I like her health, and I like the minions. If I were to use her in wars, though, she would need emblems, and I just don't have the emblems to give her. So I don't usually use her too much anymore, and I didn't use her much against Gwen, because she was yellow. So, she sits she's really good for farming, but that's about it. Let's see, Drake, I had emblems on him at one time, but I don't use him anymore. He's not bad. He'd be a good replacement for Musashi, I guess, on defense. His attack stat wouldn't be as high. And that close to the end of the match when Musashi fires, I don't think Drake's blind would be that beneficial, but I could be wrong. So, overall, I think he's a good hero. Yuck. This guy's useless. We don't even want to talk about the bleeper. Nothing like Ariel. This guy's terrible. Next, Elassie, I have two of her. She's really good. I like her for a sniper. I don't use her too much since she's blue, but yeah, I have sniper capabilities. Max 2 Evelyns because she's awesome. Pairs good with my two Kingstons. Gregorian, he's really good for Titans and events. That's about all I use him for. The crit chance is really nice, so especially in that level 15 events, Gregorian comes in handy. Queen of Hearts. Let's see, an event hero that I have. I got her in a 10 pull actually. I really thought she'd be awesome because she's got so much going on and on her card here. I'm not really a huge fan of her though. She does have a really good health stat, but that the taunt card just does not have enough HP for me. It always disappears and then the taunt's gone and then it's kind of useless. Black Knight is definitely a better hero in my opinion than Queen of Hearts. If the taunt would just stay on her instead of have that card, or if she were, she'd be probably a lot more OP if she was fast though. So there's just, or if she would gain 3 cards like Puss in Boots or something like that, that would be a much better special than what she has. To me, she's just a little lacking. Red Hood, I won her a couple times. She's not good anymore. Like, I wish that her special was like not Tarlic. I don't know why I always mess them up. It was like Teleria. When I saw Teleria coming out, I was like, that's how Red Hood should be. Because her minions are a lot like Queen of Hearts. They just die too quickly, and then you don't get the health benefit of them, and then so her special's average, and what you get out of her special is basically 131% damage to all enemies. So that's, how's that different from Catalan? It's really not. So it's really not even better. And then as far as the mana thing, it's not really even that big of a deal anymore. It doesn't stop Teleria. So Red Hood is, I wish she had healing with it. That would help her. Not just healing from the minions, but if she would regenerate health for all allies like Teleria does, that would make her more beneficial to me. But as is, she just sits on the bench. It looks cool because I have her avatar. Sargoso, I actually liked him when Gwen was out. I thought he was really good. I won him a couple times. So I maxed the 1. But I don't use him too much anymore. When there was like, when you match your pirate family together, that's kind of fun, but yeah, he's not bad. He'd have to be paired with someone like Panther or something like that to make the damage on 3 really worth it. Toph, Dator's favorite hero. I have 1 of him, and I decided to max him when Gwen was prevalent. I needed another fast purple. So I was like, okay, I'll just do Toph because I didn't have anyone else. Now I kind of wish I didn't, but he's nothing special in my mind. Gwen, the jerk that never wanted to come to me and what made me hate this game so much more. Actually, I don't hate it. It's a love-hate relationship. I've played it so long, it's like I don't want to quit because I've got so many. But Gwen is not even a factor anymore. Yeah. Not really. She did her time. Now she's in retirement. Athena was my first maxed hero, my first 5-star. I pulled her when she was hero of the month and thought she was awesome. I actually pulled 2 of her, and back then, it was before wars, before everything. I was running Rainbow, and I was like, I don't need 2, so I fed her to Athena. Yeah, silly UCLA. So I only have 1 of her maxed, and she used to be a staple for my Titan hits. Not so much anymore. I don't use her too much. King Arthur, I won him a couple times. He's a really good hero, especially against the red Titans. He's also really good in events, and I really like his special. As far as in rating, not one of my favorites, but maxed him. I have 1 Albrecht. I don't use him too much anymore. He used to be really fun to raid with and save me all the time, but now since he's so slow and his health is not very high, his defense isn't very high unless you add emblems to him, and emblems go to Vela, so yeah, Albrecht sits on my bench an awful lot. Morgan Le Fay, I really like her. I just don't have a spot for her. She does good. She's fast, and I like her special. If I had a spot for her, I would use her more. I think I did 30 pulls and got her. I'm not sure who I was going for. Yeah, I'm not sure, but let's see. Ares, he was my he was my first maxed 5-star. Athena was my first 5-star. Ares was the first one that I maxed and gave rings to. Loved him. He was my tank back in the day. Don't use him too much anymore, but always was a big fan of Ares. I wish they didn't nerf him. He can probably have that extra health back. Let's see. One of my favorite heroes, and I wanted to feed him too because I didn't want him, but Dator stopped me. And then when I ascended him, I was like, oh man, Lepus is awesome. So, especially paired with Frida, he was one of my favorites. It was really a sad day when I had to take his emblems away and give them to Vela for my defense, but I wish I could give him back. He was pretty good. Let's see, Dom. I'm not a huge fan of her. I didn't even think her costume was gonna make her that much better. She was just another purple, and I actually didn't use her against Gwen that much either. Not much to her special that makes her extravagant. Just not a huge fan since I have 3 Sartanas, so. Aslar, I've had him max for quite some time too. I thought he was gonna be really good, as a tank, and yeah, his special is just nothing great anymore, and he's slow, so he's been sitting. I thought his attack was always amazing too. With emblems out, it's really not that big of a deal anymore. So he's definitely nothing special. A lot of these season 1 heroes have their powers, if you don't have the costumes, just aren't as good. So you almost need costumes for them now to make them viable for anything. Leanna, she used to be one of my favorites. I remember I used to, I had her I was needing shields for her, and shields never came, and now I have like over 100 of all the 3-star mats. But I was back then it was really hard to get even the 3-star mats, and I was like, I've got Leanna, one of the best snipers, the best sniper in the game, and I can't even level her up. Like, it was a lot worse back then trying to get mats. Events was really how I got so many. That and putting in time and money too. Like, I used to buy most of the offers. I don't buy like the really big ones anymore, but if like those $20 ones, I always went for those for the mats. Magni, it, it looks like his costume's gonna be really awesome if you can get a hold of that one, because his costume looks like he's gonna lower defense on 3, and he's fast, so like that's like Athena quality except for a fast hero. So um I always thought he looked really awesome too. I always wanted Magni. Finally got him. Um, yeah, he's good. Elena, I even still like Elena. I think even though she's slow, her special is that riposte I've always been a fan of, just because it can save you so, like, really good. It's riposte is fun. Her defense is terrible though. 578 is just way too low for any 5-star, so she's not really viable to use. I have 2 Max Junes now. I remember back in the day, June was that hero that I just could not get. I think I did a ton of pulls for June back in like years ago. Um, couldn't get him, and then I think it was I had a birthday, um, a little over a year ago, and Dator does like a couple 10 pulls and gets me June. So, and then the very next day, TC20 popped out another June. So I was like, I got 2 Junes. Of course, TC20 pops out a June after he does the pulls for him. And now I don't even use him. 2 Leonidas. Really like Leo. I thought I like the mana control on him. His health is a little low to be viable. At this point, I'm not, like, I guess I almost put emblems on him and tried to use him, in wars, but yeah, not extravagant, but I like him. I think he's a little underrated. So, those are all my maxed, 5-stars. So we went through 78 of them. That's pretty good. I got Kill Hair, waiting for mats. I have mats for him, but I haven't decided if I want to level him or not. He's got a lot of text, and a lot of good qualities. He's my other season 3 hero. But I would prefer if I get a lucky temple and get Puss in Boots, or if I go and win Puss in Boots. We'll see if I go for that or not. I might not. I don't have Mickey, so I'm at a disadvantage on Fables for sure. So I might not be able to. We'll see what my boards give me. I did a tempo last Wonderland wanting Jabberwock, and I got White Rabbit, which was funny, so I got another one of him. This was my first costume pull. I got Quintus, so I only had him at 370 at the time anyway. I don't think he'll get mats. I got another Melosi, which is good. This is my only one of him. He's in line, but he's gonna have to wait. Neath, same way. I'm not like, I like her special, but she's not anything that I'm gonna give mats to, I don't think. I got Hatter. When did I got him last Wonderland too, I think. he's interesting. I think he'd be a lot of fun if I don't have any other green options. So I'd probably ascend him just because I think he'd be a lot of fun. She's not gonna get anything. I don't use the two that I have. Same with him. I don't use the one that I have. If her competition wasn't so good, like she's been up on deck, and then I get someone better, and then I ascend them. I ascend 3 Gravemakers or 3 Mitsukus. But I think that Natalia would be a pretty decent ascend. Um, a fast healer. Come on, the sheep. I call her Lamb Chop. I call this guy Microwave. Some of these 4-star heroes. We'll just go through. Season 3 has some really good heroes. Most of my 4-stars are just for tournaments and events. I don't do the epic. I used to go by color, but really the only color that you really need to go in is you need to go in red for everything, except for the one where it's red reflect. So Fables, yeah. Wilbur, Falcon, those are the 2 staples that you would need for going for epic in the event. She seems pretty decent. A lot of these season 3 heroes, this guy I was pretty excited about. He's like a 3-star Frida, so I definitely wanted to level him up. He's gonna be really good in the Fables event, so I'd keep an eye out. I bet you'll see most of the top 100 have this guy in it. Let's see, I've got Grimble hiding in here. Not really worth the mats to me at this point since he's average. Another Vela. A couple more Melosies. I won this guy and he's stayed at 1 since I got him. His special's just not good enough for being very slow. He's nothing like that Alf chick that they just came out with season 3. This one seems pretty good for a yellow. I'll level her up. She looks pretty decent. This one I think will be good for epic events, since he hits multiples. That's always good. And then, yeah, a bunch of feeders. I don't keep too much. As you can see, a lot of people I will see benches where they have tons and tons of 5-stars that aren't leveled yet. Yeah, I either level them or I feed them. I don't keep them. Just because I don't sit on mats really. I have no patience. Dator makes fun of me all the time, but when I get the mats, I usually use them. I'm sitting on a couple right now though. I can get to 80. Max 5-stars. I don't have the blues. I have a ton of scopes and I don't have the blues to give, and I'm waiting on that red, and I'll be able to, once Path of Valor's done, I'll get that tonic and be able to do another one as well. So yeah, so mainly events is really what's been giving me a ton of mats, and time to get so many. But yeah, I might do some videos on my favorite heroes and just discussing if they're worth the mats. I know that's a big question in a lot of people. And I'll keep doing some videos on the new heroes as well, because they're fun to play with even if I don't have the mats for them. So yeah, thanks guys.